More exploration, more options to plow through enemies, more KRAUSER. This is everything new you need to know about Resident Evil Resident Evil 4. My god, that was dumb. We're about to go through some of the game's brand new features right now. All contents within this video is from the recent 12-minute video dump from Capcom just a few days ago, and this analysis of the brand new content is from my examination of that new video. If I am missing anything, feel free to help a brother out and let me, along with the community, know by sharing your findings in the comments below. Also, make sure to participate in the Deluxe Edition giveaway I have going on for this game. First up is the expanded exploration. We can see elements that were added to the original with the boat here that Leon is able to control throughout this cave system neighboring the lake by the village. In the original, this is where we fought Del Lago, and it was possible to venture across the lake after the fight to enter a cave where the merchant was. In this remake, however, much work has been done into further fleshing out the cave system, allowing Leon to exit his boat at docks to explore seemingly completely optional areas for side quests that we see from this blue paper here, along with completing puzzles for rewards that hide enticing valuables. A quick glance here shows us that we have unlimited uses of the harpoon, the weapon needed during the Del Lago fight. With that fight now over, it looks like these harpoons could be used for perhaps more monsters to fight or obstacles to break to uncover further areas of the cave system. Barrels and other debris can be boated over to reward Leon with PESETAS. Although this is just one completely optional and fully fleshed out area that was not present in the original game, perhaps we can expect to see more completely optional areas like this scattered throughout various sections of the remake. Yasuhiro Ampo, the game's director, stated that maintaining the pacing of the original RE4 was essential, but giving players the option to venture off the beaten path to explore was equally as important. Next, let's talk about that merchant. While looking at the items to buy within the merchant's buy screen, we can now see an assortment of square blocks next to them. This refers to the amount of space these items will likely take up while in your case. Just like the original, players will be able to slot these items either horizontally or vertically to organize their own equipment. The two vertical blocks of the first aid spray, for example, conveniently refers to the 2 blocks of space this item takes up in Leon's case. Now that we're on the topic of storage for a moment, let's literally talk about storage. New to Resident Evil 4 Remake is storage that is accessible from TYPEWRITERs, the game's save points as used throughout the RE franchise. If you happen to find any gear or items you don't want to have in your case for the foreseeable future, you have the ability to store such gear in a storage box. And now you can hoard all the stuff you don't plan on using and recollect it whenever you reach a typewriter. It's nice to see this feature from other RE titles make its debut here in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, before we move away from the merchant, I'd like to inform you of my observation regarding the red dot sight. It appears that perhaps only handguns will be able to take advantage of the dot sight, as when other weapons are shown, the laser dot sight is not shown as compatible, at least not up front. We'll keep an eye on this, as it might end up being a disappointment that not every weapon may be able to have the laser dot sight compatibility. Let's now shift our focus to the combat changes we can see here, like being able to parry Molotovs. Now, this is a significant one, because Leon can parry thrown projectiles, which isn't exactly something new to this gameplay, but the fact that Leon can parry a Molotov cocktail is of interest. Molotovs were only in the original when Leon perched himself up on the clock tower during the opening Pueblo section. And Molotovs were thrown into the clock tower as a means to chip away at Leon's health, to eventually get him down and fight the Horde head on. Here, Molotovs are indeed a weapon used by GARRADORs now, and we can parry them as they are hurled towards the player, being able to divert its landing and have it explode nearby without burning Leon in the process. On the note of parrying, Leon can now parry the PLAGAS tentacle attacks. Leon can also use his knife to parry the once traditional one-hit kill PLAGAS attack from this second form PLAGAS from this GARRADOR shown here, which is now able to attach itself to the ceiling. Enemies that are writhing on the ground will eventually transform into their PLAGAS form, and with a swift knife kill to these GARRADORs will prevent the PLAGAS from appearing. There is now an arrow on the exploding dynamite that is thrown by GARRADORs. Perhaps we can interact with the dynamite before it explodes, as evidenced by the arrow, or perhaps the arrow is just a helpful indicator letting the player know that there is a live explosive about to detonate. Being able to throw back the dynamite would be a pretty nice feature, not gonna lie, but I won't confirm that as we haven't seen that it is possible to do so at this point. Flash grenades now mute and subdue the audio for a more realistic effect. It is also during this time that the player has the option to either use their knife for a one-hit kill or melee attack the enemy. While at the castle section with the GARRADORs bombarding the player with cannon fire, Leon is now able to fully operate an unmanned cannon, able to blow open the door to the castle, while also being able to freely operate it to eliminate enemies in the process. Before we proceed through the main entry hall, let's briefly go over an Ashley feature new to Resident Evil 4 Remake. When Ashley sustains enough damage, like as shown here when she takes a cannon shot to the face, she will enter a downed state, with an icon next to her indicating as such. Also on the bottom right side of the screen, we see her status changes to incapacitated. It has been confirmed in a recent interview with Capcom that once Ashley takes any more damage while in this incapacitated state, that she will die. In the main hall of the castle, we see just how different Ramon Salazar is from his original form. We also see his two Verdugo behind him, sporting those menacing glowing eyes they are known to have. The GARRADOR fight looks just as intense as it does frightening, sporting that same incredible aggression we have known from these creations. Because they cannot see, stealth is an important role here, as players are now able to stealth strike the PLAGAS on their backs if the player is careful. Just beware of the chains in the arena, as if Leon were to brush up against them, they will emit a sound and thus alert the enemy to your location. In this fight, and from the general attacks from enemies in the game, the level of violence is cranked up considerably over the original game. Leon now has gashes and visible wounds accurately depicting the aftermath of attacks he sustains. The knife fight with KRAUSER is one of the most iconic parts of the original game, and this time around, players will be honing their mastery of the parry system, while also enjoying dialogue shared between the two. In this fight, we can expect to hear more backstory about KRAUSER via the way of Operation Javier, an essential plot to KRAUSER's development and relationship to Leon from the Wii and PS3 game Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. Having KRAUSER's backstory more fleshed out is a great thing, seeing as he is vital to the plot of Resident Evil 4. And finally, while parrying with the knife during Leon's fight with KRAUSER, Leon's knife durability does decrease, so hopefully the game replenishes the knife's durability before the fight starts. And that's all I took away from this most recent gameplay by Capcom. Capcom will be including Resident Evil 4 Remake as part of its showcase on March 9th at 5:30 PM EST with more announcements to the game. Hopefully then we will know more about that upcoming demo. Make sure to let me know if I missed anything by informing us all in the comments below. Watch this video here to see more changes of Resident Evil 4 Remake over the original. Don't forget to participate in the giveaway, in which one of two winners will win a free copy of the Deluxe edition of Resident Evil 4 Remake. Thank you all for the awesome support, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.